purpose of my art is to bring peace and harmony into a world where chaos has become the norm.
Are you hearing me now? Yeah, there we go. Now you can hear me. Now you can hear me. Sorry about that. You guys, I'm just, and nobody can hear me. So now you can hear me. Can you hear me? All right, so there we go. Now I'm being heard. You weren't hearing me at first, so I'll have a whole entire segment where I'm just mouthing and nobody can hear me. And that's, I'll call it my mime section. That's my mime section. So welcome to my studio. I'm going to be walking you guys around my studio, showing you some things in my studio, turning on lights because I haven't turned on any lights in my studio. And you guys were supposed to be able to come to my studio yesterday. And unfortunately, you weren't because I wasn't here either. Even though I scheduled a visit, I scheduled you guys to come into my studio yesterday, but I was not here. I ended up having some other things to do. Sorry. So hopefully you guys are in and can hang out with me today, or at least some. So definitely post something. Let me know you're here. Let me know you came by to see some artwork, because that's what I'm going to be showing today. Ta-da! We'll enter in over this way, but I'm actually going to turn on some lights. And I hope you can still hear me as I walk around the studio. So I'm going to turn on some of my studio lights so you can get a better view of the things that are in my studio. So I'm just walking around and turning on some studio lights, but I'm going to move this over because I want to show you guys some of my bronze pieces. And they're on this wall. We're going to be doing some moving, a little bit of moving. I'm going to make a little bit of a triangle here because I'm going to show you guys some of my bronze pieces that are on this wall. So we're going to angle it and open up the studio a little bit more for you to see. So we're going to turn this a little bit. There we go. Aha, look at that. These are some of my bronze pieces. Ta-da! So give me a shout out if you're out there. Say hi, Louise. Hi. Oh, there's Bridget. Hi, Bridget. From LA. Cool. Nice. So I'm going to show you some of my bronze pieces. I love working with reliefs. These are bronze reliefs. And this is really exciting because you get to come into my studio. This is my studio art tour, and you get to actually come into my studio for the studio art tour, since they're not having, since people are not actually touring into studios. But I wanted to be able to stream live so you could actually come into my studio virtually. So I'm going to be showing some of my bronze pieces today, and these are bronze reliefs, and I love working with bronze reliefs. More so than in the round, but I do have pieces that are bronze pieces that are in the round, but I'm going to show you some of the bronze pieces I have. So this piece right here is called, this one is Facing My Giant. And I'm going to remove Facing My Giant so I can bring it up a little closer so you can see it. Facing My Giant is bronze. You see that? This is a bronze piece. It's got beautiful color. I love the color. And then you can look in here and you can see some of the other colors inside there. So can you see that? And this is called Facing My Giant. Facing My Giant. She is she's 11 by 19. All of the pieces are at least 19. So she's 11 by 19. She has 2 hanging methods. So you can mount her and screw her right into the walls. You can do that kind of stuff, or you can hang her, and that's what this is. You can hang her up. So she has 2 mounting pieces. So this is Facing My Giant. The fun thing about Facing My Giant, she was a fun piece to create. She was an absolute joy to create. I enjoyed creating her. I'm going to hang her back up here. She's going to fight with me to hang back up here, but I'm going to hang her back there. So Facing My Giants was a fun piece to create. When I created her, she was actually supposed to be. She was most of my bronze pieces come out of my paintings. They come out of my paintings, and what I do with my paintings is once I look at them and they're created them, a lot of them just stand out as they look more like sculptures to me. And so once I see a painting that's like jumping out at me and it looks more like a sculpture, then it becomes a sculpture. Then I'm thinking about how can I sculpt this? How can I make this more of a sculpture? And so that's basically what I do. So this was actually supposed to be It Remains in the Wind. It was from the painting It Remains in the Wind. But when I was doing this particular bronze piece, she did not want to stay It Remains in the Wind. It Remains in the Wind, that piece, she turns her head to the back because she's looking at her past. She's moving forward, but she looks back. And when I was doing Facing My Giants, because I loved the gown and I loved the composition of that particular piece, this was during the time when the Me Too movement was coming out, and a lot of other things was going on when I was creating her. And as I was creating her, she would not turn her head. I couldn't get the head to turn, and she would always look forward. She was just like, no, I am facing those things ahead. And so I had to rename the whole piece, because most of the time when I do the bronze pieces, I name them after the painting. They have the same name as the painting, but not this one. This one right here decided she was not going to be It Remains in the Wind. And so she became Facing My Giants, and to deal with, to represent what was going on in the world today, which was the women beginning to step forward and stand strong and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna speak against some of these things. We're gonna talk against some of these things. And so that's basically, thanks a lot. That's basically what this piece is about, is facing your giants, standing for right, standing up against the opposition and saying, hey, we're not going to take this. I'm moving forward. I'm going to face this. I'm going to face my challenges. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to speak out, and I'm going to be a part of the movement for change. And that's what Facing My Giants is all about. And so I love this piece because she's actually the one that really kind of changed her, changed her position in a sense. And that's why, like, sometimes when people ask me, they'll say, well, Louise, how long does it take you to do a piece? Or how do you come up with your concepts and things like that? I come up with concepts and I begin to do the work, but a lot of times I allow my pieces to form themselves. I might have the concept and the idea of what I want to do, but I do allow my pieces to form themselves. I allow my pieces to have a say in how they're created, in a sense, I guess. I mean, I am the one that's doing the molding and doing all of those kind of things, but I'm a firm believer that you have to allow your spirit to take control of what you're doing, as opposed to your mental consciousness. And so a lot of times your mental consciousness might say, okay, I want to draw this female form and I want to do this, but your spirit form might be doing something totally different through your hands. And so I like to flow naturally and spiritually when I'm doing my work. And so that's how I create the vast majority of my pieces. And I do listen to music. Like, you'll get a lot of times people are like, well, do you listen to music when you create? Of course I listen to music when I create. I love listening to music when I create. And actually, sometimes the music influences what I create. Sometimes the music that I'm listening to influence my creation. And I listen to more worship music. I'm more of a worship music, and I listen to those things. So yes, a lot of my artwork is influenced by the music that I listen to. And so when I'm creating these pieces, because I believe in creating pieces that represents peace, harmony, serenity, togetherness, those kind of things. And my music also represents those kind of things. So I love to do those kind of things. So let's move to the next piece. And actually, I'm going to do this one. This is called The Gatherer, this bronze piece. And this is a bronze relief, and it's called The Gatherer. I love this. This is a beautiful piece right here. I'm going to bring her closer. And you can see this piece is called The Gatherer. And this is also a bronze relief. And it's like, oh, my. So this is a bronze relief. And as you can see, I'm going to bring it a little closer for you to see. Beautiful, beautiful colors, beautiful colors. I love the way this is done. And this was actually done from a painting called The Gatherer. And it was done in my Caregivers of the Earth series. And you can see how thin look how thin that is. Isn't that pretty thin? And so this is a bronze relief. It sits flat on the wall. And you can see the back here. Same thing, 2 hanging methods. You have the bar where you can hang it, or if you want to put it in the wall, you have right here, you could screw it right into the wall. So they do look absolutely fabulous on what is it, stone, or a really nice like brick finished or stone finished or anything like that. So these can go indoors or outdoors. And I want to bring it closer so you can see some of the details on her. Look at that. All of her flowers. I'm just going to bring it over so you can see some of the details on her flowers. Bring it up so you can see her whole garment and how, okay. And I love to, like all of these, putting in those and having those raised so you can see that. So this is called The Gatherer. This is a bronze piece, and it is called The Gatherer. And these are all on my website, and these are all available for purchase. This piece right here is a 19 by 12. It's a 19 by 12. It probably weighs about, I'd say, between 15 to 20 pounds. And it can go up on your wall. I have most of these hanging on the wall. I just find a stud and put them there. So let's straighten her out. So that piece is called The Gatherer, and she's actually from a painting called The Gatherer that I have in my collection. I keep thinking my shirt isn't quite buttoned right. I'm looking. So that piece is called The Gatherer, and she's actually from one of my paintings that's called The Gatherer. That particular painting, I can't remember. I think that probably that painting sold a few years ago. But I really love that painting. It was done in a acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper. It was done in a white gold and a variegated metal leaf, which was a blue metal leaf, that particular paint. As a matter of fact, let me see. I think I have, this is the book. This is one of my journals, and this is actually what that painting looked like. So you can have an idea of what the painting looked like. So this is the painting of The Gatherer. And you can see we captured a lot of what that painting looked like in the bronze sculpture. Isn't that beautiful? And you can buy these books. Just let me know. You can buy, these are some of my journals. If you'd like to buy a journal, let me know. Let me see. I was going to put just let me know in the comments. Say, hey, Louise, I'd like to buy a journal. The journals are, what were the journals? Hold on. All right, there it is. The journals, they were $35. They're $25 now. So if you'd like to buy one of my journals, they're $25, and they're really nice. They come with, I'm just going to grab one right here. They're lined journals, which are really cool. They have, they're a lined journal. Can you see the lines? I'm trying to see with the lighting. They're lined journals, and they also have the little tab. They have the little tab. So to keep up with your spaces. So if you want to keep up with your space, they have the lines, the little tab in them as well. So that is as if you want to buy one of the journals. The next piece I'm going to show you is this one over here. Now, this is a piece that I did not do a painting of. This is the first piece that I've ever done that was not connected to a painting, and it's called The Journey. And I just, with him, he was just a lot of fun to do. I was just kind of playing around with some stuff because I was at a time, I was just playing around with clay and things like this. And this is a 6. This particular piece is a 6 by 19. Look at that. See how thin that is? Now he's pretty light. He's about 10 pounds, a 10-pound bronze. And you can look in there. Same hanging method, only he is 2. So it's the same hanging method. There's 2 hanging methods. And like I said, he's about 10 pounds. He's not incredibly heavy. This particular one I did because I was, this was at a time, what was it, a few years ago, I was just kind of playing around with different methods, different things, looking at things to do, and just kind of expanding who I was as a bronze sculptor, And so I was just kind of playing around with the clay, and I decided to do this guy and call it this guy on a journey where he was just walking. He's just going somewhere. And I feel like a lot of my life is that way. A lot of my life is this journey. I'm going on this journey. And so he kind of represents my journey as an artist, and he might represent your journey. And so that's one of the things that he kind of represents, is this journey that I'm on. And I just love that. I love that connection that he has, because everything we do as artists have some kind of connection with us, or some kind of connection to us. And so that's the connection he has to me. Like, all of these pieces represent some form of who I am, what I do, my thought process, my struggles. All of these pieces somehow represent those kind of things. So we're going to move on to the next one. But, let me know you're here. Shout out, wave, Louise. So, and then most of these pieces that I'm showing you, like most of these are 2,100. This one right here is 1,500. So these bronze pieces, so these are these larger ones are 2,100. He is a $1,500 one. And like I said, all of these pieces that you see, all of these bronze pieces that you see here are all on my website. I'm even going to show you the bronze piece that I just finished the clay of, so you get a preview of one that'll be going to the foundry soon. It's not at the foundry yet, but you'll get a little bit of a preview of that one. So I'm going to bring you over. Next, we have this particular piece right here. This is the Waterer. And you can see how beautiful the Waterer is. The goldish color in her sleeves, and all of these really neat, look at that really neat, beautiful, beautiful color in her garment. That the brownness of her, look at that. I just love, love, love I love her skirt color and the water flowing. These are absolutely beautiful pieces. So this right here is called the Waterer. She is the Waterer. So, and the Waterer has, let's turn it around. Her hanging method is just a little different, but it's also, as you can see, you can hang her this way, or you can screw her, like trying to follow my fingers, you can screw her in the wall as well. So you can see she has the screws as well. So there's 2 separate hanging methods, and she hangs flat up against the wall, which is absolutely beautiful. She is, this particular piece is, she's 12 by 19. 12 by 19, and she's about 15 to 20 pounds as well. So, but they go really nice on the walls. You can hang them on your wall. You can hang them you can hang them indoors or outdoors. That's the beauty of bronze. So you can hang her either indoors or you can hang her outdoors. And that's the beauty of that particular piece. So that particular piece actually came from, like these two, they're from a series of paintings called the Caregivers of the Earth. They're from the Caregivers of the Earth series, my Caregivers of the Earth series. And they're, I love these particular pieces because they're fun. I love doing them. I love creating these. And so these, the Caregivers of the Earth is the waterer, the planter, and the gatherer. And I actually did this series in the reverse. Now, when I created these, this particular series, I actually did them as a triptych, and I did all three of them together. So I did all three of these paintings together. Hey, how's it going? I did all three of these paintings together. And what I did was, when I started doing the bronze, I did them in the reverse. So I did the gatherer first and then the waterer. And now I'm going to show you the planter because thank you so much. I'm going to show you the planter because the planter is the one that I just recently completed in clay. And it has to have the mold made and go to the foundry. So I'm going to go over and get that one so you can see it. I'm bringing it off the easel because it's on the easel right now. So bring this over for you to see it. So this piece right here we go. She's still in clay and she's a lot lighter than her formers. And so you can see this is the planter. This piece is called the planter. And I just finished, and I like to work on, this is a foam. I like to work on this foam because, as you can see, it's very light. So I try to find something light so that I can handle it. And so I do all of the work on this foam, and then I make the mold. And the mold is made also while it's on the foam. So it'll be made on the foam. The mold, I'll do the mold on the foam so you can see that. And you can see her belt and everything, all of the fabric, the way the fabric folds. And you can see. So I love doing relief. And then I'm looking at it and seeing little areas that I still need to work on. I still see a spot that I didn't quite get. So that's the beauty of it. So this is a piece right here that's going to be a bronze, but it's just the clay right now. This is my clay. Let me see up here. I need to do some stuff in there. So this is my clay of a bronze sculpture that is in the process. So I just recently completed the clay of this particular piece. So I'm going to take this back over. So this will go with these pieces here. This is the last piece in the Caregivers of the Earth series. This will be the last piece. Once this is complete, it'll make a complete piece. And you can purchase, you can always purchase this ahead of time because it's you can purchase this in pre-order. So this particular piece, we're going to put it back over here. There we go. Put it back. Put that down on it. There we go. So these are all of my, what I consider my smaller bronze reliefs. My smaller bronze reliefs. So then next I'm going to show you some of my other bronze pieces. They're bigger, so I'm going to get another device that I can hook up, and we're going to walk over to some of those because there are larger bronze pieces, and we'll get to chat about those. So give me a second, and I'm going to head over, and I'm going to set those up so that I can walk you through so you can see some of my other bronze pieces, okay? You can hear me walking. So good to have you guys come by my studio and hang out with me. So I'm going to go over here and get this one set up. That way you guys can see. Well, the other thing is, if you were in my actual studio, you'd actually see how messy it is. So it's probably good you're not in my actual studio today. It's not in my actual studio today. So you don't have to see, you don't get to see the messiness of the actual studio and all the things I have to move out of the way just so that you can see some absolutely phenomenal work. So I am moving things as I speak to you and talk to you. Let's see, is this the broadcast I'm entering into? I'm just going to enter into this broadcast quickly. And I just have to plug a few lights up. So give me 1 second. And I'm hoping you can still hear me from back here as I set things up for you. Let's see, is this the right one? I don't think so. Oh, yes. Thanks. So I'm setting some things up because I'm going to take you guys. Hi. Oh, wow. Hey, guys. So I'm going to be setting some things up. I'm setting some things up in the back so that I can take you guys to the back portion of my studio as well, because I want to show you some of the bronze pieces back there. And then we'll do some paintings. But I figured what we do right now is we cover the different bronze pieces. So I'm going to enter in, I think I'll enter in, oh, let me remove. I was doing some branding the other day and kind of left that up there. We're going to take that off because I don't need that. You can put this one on. There we go. Louise Cutler Studio Live. There we go. We'll do that one. So I'm going to bring myself into this one via this area here. So as you can see, I got my trusty, can you see that? Trust, is it up? Oh, wait, let me see. There we go. Yes, my other trusty computer. Somebody's calling me. Who's calling me? Oh, it's my sister, Linda. That's the beauty of being able to sit down here.
What's up? Where you been all day?
Oh, I'm at home. I'm live right now. I'm talking to my sister,
Okay,
Linda.
okay. Go ahead. Let me call. I'm going to put my baby up anyway. I'm
Okay.
let my mama know I'm on my way.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. So that was my sister, Linda, and she's been trying to get in touch with me all day. We've been playing phone tag. So we've been playing phone tag. Oh, there's my friend, LaShawn. Oh, hey, guys. Wow. How are you guys? So many people on here saying hi to me. Really cool. If I'm not, whoop, I'm not in the right broadcast. Let me end that broadcast. I'm going to leave that broadcast. Let's see, return to dash. Yeah, I have tons of broadcasts open. So I'm going to go into this broadcast, go into the right broadcast so that I can bring you guys over to hang out with me over this way. So let's go over here and you can hear me and I can hear you. And I'm going to show you some of my pieces over this way. And I should still be able to see you guys. So I'm going to sit this on here. That way you're not bouncing up and down because I don't want you to bounce up and down on this one. And then I'm going to turn it so you guys can get a really good view of what we're doing. And let me enter the broadcast now. So you guys can see me and I can see you. There we go. Can you guys see me? I can see you. I can see everybody there. Nice. All right. So let me see. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around because I want you guys to be able to see the actual artwork that is. I'm going to bring this one. I'm going to bring this one up. And that's me right there. And we're going to do a solo screen so that you guys can see some of the artwork that's back here as opposed to what's going up front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera around. That way you can get a really nice view of ta-da, artwork. Go this way. So we're going to be looking at this piece. And let's do this. I'm going to turn this camera all the way down. So, all right. So this particular piece we're going to chat about. Got my fingers all in the way, right? And I'm going to bring it down for you to get a really nice view of it. This piece is called, oops, okay. All right, so this particular piece is called, there we go. This piece is called The Offering. And I love this piece, as you can see. I'm just going to bring myself back. This piece is called The Offering. I did this piece several years ago. And what I really love about this piece is all of the amazing details in it. And all of the amazing details. And it has a lot of symbolism in it because it's dealing with the offering. And you can see the young lady, she's standing there with a bowl, and the birds are coming to feed from her bowl. It's called the offering of peace. And she's making peace with her creator, her creation, and all those things around her. Because a lot of times we live in society in this sort of tumultuous sort of way, and there's turmoil and all kinds of things, especially going on in society today. There's tons of things going on right now, and when I created this piece, it was similar. It was there was a lot of things going on. There was a lot of just for us in general, where our lives are always like, well, stuff going on, lots of turmoil, lots of things going on, and especially right now with the how did you get the basically it's actually what I did was whenever I'm doing garments and things like that, I actually look at designs, because I used to do fashion illustration and fashion design, and so I tend to lay fabric down to see how that fabric is going to flow. And in the clay, I create it in the clay, and so I create these fabric lines in the clay, and so I just raise them. It's all raised. I'm going to go in the back so you can see how they're raised. I'm just going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see the raise, how those are raised. So I'm going to bring this down just a little bit and bring this up, and see if we can bring that over so you can see the raise in her garment. So, sorry about putting my finger there. We're going to step back just a little bit. Okay, there we go. That way you can see the raise in her garment. So I'm more or less, like I said, since I come from a fashion illustrated fashion background, I'm very conscious about how fabric flows onto my garment and what that would actually look like. So I'm very conscious of that. What is this type of art called again? These are actually, these are bronze reliefs. These are actually bronze reliefs That particular one is a little bigger. She's bigger than these. That one is a 20, she's 24 by 24. So that one is a square. It's a 24, about a 24 by 24 square bronze relief. So these right here, these are smaller. These are about 11 by 19s. And so these are, and they fit flat to the wall. They fit on your wall. I'm going to actually bring you over to show you one of my other ones, and they're a little bigger. I have a couple of other bigger ones, bigger than this one. They're bronze relief. Now those, they are, she's 24 by 24 with a 2-inch depth, whereas these right here are flat. Let's see, these are flat. So they don't have, so you can see these are a little different. They're flat. And these sit very close to your wall. They're very flat, but these are bronze relief as well. And so, hold on, let me hang that back up. There we go. So these bronze reliefs, they're some of my smaller ones, and they're very flat. Whereas this particular piece, she's a 24 by 24, and she has a 2-inch depth. So, but I'll go back into those. And that one, I was really, really working on bringing things out. You could look at, you could see in her, how the birds sit out better. It leaves more of an impression. Yes, the depth is better because, and that's the way I wanted those to be. I wanted them to be able to sit out and to sit up. Now, those also will look great on over a fireplace, a brick fireplace. They look great outdoors on a brick, like if you have a brick patio or a stone patio, because they sit up, they look really fantastic on anything like that. And I get a lot of people that are like, I'm not going to put it outside, but actually they're very safe. It is bronze, so it is, yes, it'll go well on stone too, Vaughn. And so it makes a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful statement to have those on stone and all of those kind of things, and being able to put them in a patio and they look great on walls too, because I'll show you, I'm going to show you the one that I have on. I have two on walls here. And these are normally on walls as well. They really look nice because they sit really flat up against the wall if you want to have a really nice bronze wall piece on your wall. So we're going to go over to this other one, but I did want to talk a little bit more about the offering of peace. The offering of peace, it has a lot of symbolism in it, as far as there's grapes and all those kind of things in that particular piece, which is absolutely beautiful. And that's one of the things I wanted to do. Water is life-giving. There's water there. There's like bread there. There's all of these different things that add to that particular piece that shows the giving portion of it, the being the giver of peace, and also nourishing and being nurturing and things like that. And so that particular piece is actually one of my gilded pieces, and that has 23 karat gold on it. So that yellow that you see in there is actually a 23 karat gold on that particular piece. And now with 23 karat gold, you can put 23 karat gold outdoors, and that's why you could see there's structures that have gold in it. It's either 23 or 24 karat gold. Nothing under a 23 can you put outside. Now you say, well, how long will it last? It does have to be redone after years and years and years of being outside. So yes, that kind of that gold, it is treated, and it does have a coating on it, but it is something that probably after 10 or 15 years, you'd have to have the gold redone. But saying that, that's still a good deal of time to be able to have a beautiful piece like that outdoors. If you don't want to put it outdoors, then it'll last your lifetime. The gold will stay on there forever. So the reason why you have to have it redone after about that many years is because of the elements and things like that. But other than that, it'll stay for a long time. So I'm going to take you over to see one of the other pieces And that piece I'm going to show you, it's on the wall. It's one of my pieces that's on the wall, but I'm going to show you that piece because that piece has, I'm going to show you one with gold, the gold metal leaf in it, and one without. So I'll show you the gilded one and then the non-gilded one. The offering a piece, I did have a non-gilded one, but that particular one sold. And so I do have available today the gilded one, which is absolutely beautiful. So if you're interested in the gilded one, let me know right here. And like I said, everything on my site is, everything that I'm talking about today is on the website. All of these bronze pieces are on the website. So if you want to go to the website, but if you want to make a purchase, just let me know here and I'll be happy to, make that transaction for you. So let's go over, we're going to go and look at another bronze piece that I have to show you. So we're going to go head over this way to look at another bronze piece. And I'm going to be moving things out of the way. There's several things in my studio because I've been working in my studio and I have a lot of things just kind of hanging around the studio. And so, and I just have to do move some of the light, change some of the lighting. But if you have questions, definitely let me know because I love questions. So that's what I'm here for. So if you have some questions, you can post them. Let me know what your questions are. I love chatting with you and being able to answer your questions. So if you have questions, let me know. Let's move to the next one. We're going to come over here and look at this next piece. And this particular, I'm going to raise this up a little bit. So let's go over this way. There we go. I know I have several paintings in here. And I think we're going to turn it. We're going to turn it this way just so you can get a better view of this piece. There we go. Now this is the gilded version of this piece. And I'm going to bring it down. There. There we go. Now this piece is called Sanctuary. Sanctuary is actually done. I actually still have this painting. So I will be showing you the painting of Sanctuary. I'm going to bring that up closer so you can see it a little better. And then I'm going to swap spaces with Sanctuary. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to bring Sanctuary back over here. And I'm just going to take my branding off for right now so you can get a better view of Sanctuary. And I'm going to remove the name. That way you can see all of Sanctuary. There we go. Didn't want anything hindering your view of Sanctuary. So there we go. That's the view of Sanctuary. And as you can see, Sanctuary does have gold leaf in it. The flowers have gold leaf in it. The upper part of her garment has gold leaf in it. And that is a 23 karat gold in Sanctuary. I'm just going to angle it just a little bit. Give me 1 second. Let's angle it a little bit better. There we go. And we're going to come up. Okay, come up. There we go. All right, I just wanted to angle it a little better so you can have a better view of it. I think that view is better after you make the clay image. Then you make a mold. Let's see. So I have a question. We have a question here. It says after you make the clay image, then you make the mold. Then you fill it with bronze. How do you treat the bronze and how long is that part of the process? Okay, so after I make the mold, I send it to the foundry. I do not do the bronze. It's something that I have thought about doing, but I decided that I did not want to do the whole bronzing process. So I send it to the foundry. So I would say from start to finish, it will take about, and that's not start to finish with the artwork, start to finish after I've created the mold. After I've created the mold and I take the mold to the foundry, it's probably close to 3 months by the time I get the actual bronze piece back. And that's any of the bronze pieces. It's the small ones and the large ones. I mean, sometimes I can get the small ones back a little sooner, but start to finish from the time I complete the mold and take it to the foundry, it's about 3 months, because what they do is they take the mold, and then they create from the mold, they create a wax. They create the wax, and then after they create the wax, I have to come in and look at the wax, because they have to chase it. They have to get rid of, they have to make the wax look exactly like the actual piece. This is leaning over. They have to make the wax look exactly like my actual clay. And then the funny part is they have to do the same thing with the metal. So once they make the wax look like the exact replica of my clay, then I okay it, I check it off, and then the wax goes in, and it's dipped in this like batter like surface substance, which has sand and all kinds of stuff in it, because now they're encasing the whole entire wax piece. The whole entire wax piece is encased. Most of my pieces like this is only in one section, but I have other pieces that were in 2 sections. Like I have bronze pieces. Some of my taller bronze pieces were in 2 sections, which means that they had to chase 2 sections and then put the 2 sections together. Or the 2 pieces, they had to chase them after the metals was done and then put the 2 metal pieces together. Or they had parts, like I'm going to show you one of my freestanding ones where that particular piece had, I think, 3 different parts, and they had to put all of those parts back together so that I could look at it and okay it, and then take it back apart and then put it back together again when they made the actual bronze piece that had to all be chased back together. And so sometimes, depending on the piece and how much chasing that has to be done, that's when you'll know how long that it'll take for it to come out of the foundry. They have some pieces that are life size and then way beyond life size, and those pieces take a few months to get back from the foundry. So it depends on how big the piece and how many pieces the piece is in by the time you get back from the foundry. Because after the wax chasing and then after the dipping, because they have to dip it in this, I call it a batter, but each time it's dipped, it has to dry fully for a week. And so that's already 3 weeks in. It takes about 3 weeks. They dip it and then it has to dry for a week. They dip it and then it has to dry for another week. So there's several different processes that have to go on to create these particular pieces in bronze. So if you have other questions, let me know, because like I said, I enjoy answering your questions, and it's always fun to hear from you guys. So we're going to go over to one of the other pieces. So let me just take this off. We're going to go over, because this right here, and I'm going to show you the painting to Sanctuary. What I loved about Sanctuary is, you actually seen this process in person. Yes, you can actually, if you're here in town, if you're in Fort Collins or Loveland or even in Colorado, you can actually schedule a foundry visit, and they will take you on a foundry tour of the entire process. No, I walked through the entire process, and even the patining process. I walked through all of those kind of things, when these are being patinaed, I'm the one, I have to be there. I'm there most of that day to make sure that the patina is what I'm looking at. The patina is what that I'm putting on there, that I want to see how this piece is. So I walk through the entire process of how these go. I don't just take them and say, here you go, have your way, do what you want. No, the artist actually walks through the entire process. So first, it isn't raised. Yes, it's always raised. I create it as a raised piece. Here, let me show you. I don't know if you were here when I showed this one. This is a completed one. And this one will be, I have to do the, hold on, let me bring this back over. I have to, this one right here, it will be going to the foundry after I make the mold. So this right here is, this is the other Caregivers of the Earth. And you can see it's a relief. So I create it as a relief. So this is going to be the last of that series. This will be the last piece in the Caregivers of the Earth series. So you can see they're created as reliefs, and reliefs are merely raised sculptures. They're raised. They're raised off of a back. So that's what this is. This is actually going to be it's created as a raised piece. They do not do the raised piece. They can only, when they're creating your bronze, they can only create what you give them. They can only create what you submit. They don't create the piece for you. They can only create what you submit. They create from your mold. So once I create the mold for that, then they'll just pour the bronze. So all of the piece is done by me. It's just the casting of the bronze, and the wax isn't done by me. And I've thought about doing my own wax, but it is incredibly messy. And you end up with wax everywhere. I had the young man that does my sculpture in the round mold. He does wax pour, and it's pretty messy. It's pretty messy, and it's not something that I would want to do here in my studio or even downstairs, because it gets pretty messy, and you have to really know what you're doing when you do wax pour. So I tend to stick with what I know, which is creating the bronze and then having the wax done. Yes, messy, very messy. So we'll go over. So this particular piece right here is about a 24 by 36. It's about 24 by 36, the sanctuary piece. And like I said, the sanctuary actually has 23 karat gold in it. And what I love about her is that it's called sanctuary, and you can see how the florals and everything kind of protects her. She's in this sanctuary, and she's being protected by the foliage, the branches, the flowers, and everything. And she's near water, and there's rocks. And so it's almost like they cover her in that area. And that's basically why that particular piece is called sanctuary. And like I said, sanctuary is 24 by 36. Sanctuary is. And all of these are on my website. So you definitely can go to my website and check them out, check out their sizes and things like that. Those choices of colors. Well, I'm not sure how colors can be religious looking, but I'm going to ask to post that so the whole world can see. Vaughn said these choices of colors seem religious looking, and I'm not quite sure how colors can be religious looking, but the color scheme, I'm a warm toner. I'll put it that way. I'm a very warm toner. Especially in my bronze pieces, I love warm tones. I love having warm tones, because even if you look at the blues, you can see that the blues are it's a very warm blue. I just have to straighten that out. It's driving me crazy. Even if you look at my blues have a very warm tone to them. So I do have warmer tone colors. My color schemes tend to be warmer. Even with my brighter colors, when I use brighter colors, they are warm colors. Like I said, the blues I choose tend to be a warmer blue color as well. So I do like warm tones in my colors. So you picked that up very well. And I'm not sure about the religious looking colors. I think it's the fact that most of my people are draped in gowns and it might be more of the garment though, as opposed to the color, because they all have on these really cool. They're all draped in these really neat garments. So let's go over, and now I'm going to show you that exact same piece, but I'm going to show you that piece without the metal leaf, and you can let me know what your thoughts process are, your thoughts of that one is as well. So let's go over and have a look at that piece without the metal. So let me come over here. Trying to keep that from hanging in front of it. Let me move that right there. All right, let's go over and grab this again. So we're going to move from over here. Bring this up. Bring that up. And scoot this way so you can see a little bit of my messy studio, right? Ta-da! Now we're going to go over here. There. Now this particular piece is on the wall. So I'm going to bring this up a little bit. There we go. All right, so this piece is on the wall, and you can see this one doesn't have any gilding in it. This doesn't have any of the metal leaf. This one is straight bronze, no metal. So, and it's a pretty, this is a beautiful, absolutely, I love this piece. It's a beautiful piece. Let's get a little bit of let's see if we can get it closer. I guess we can't. I guess I'd have to get closer to it. But you can see more of it down here. The bottom, let me move this over a little bit because we keep getting, I think we're getting that little thing and I don't like that. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So now you can see the whole piece in the bottom. You can see the water that you can see the water in this piece. You can see how the floral, the flowers are. I'm a huge fan of calla lily. I can see it. Yes, it's aqua. Yeah, and there's plants and things like that. And so I love adding water to my pieces. I'm a huge fan of calla lilies, so you'll see calla lilies quite a bit in my work because I'm a huge fan of calla lilies. So that's one of the things that you'll see quite often in my pieces. And even when you see my paintings, it'll be the same thing. There's a lot of calla lilies in my paintings. There's a lot of water. Because like I said, the reason I like using water is because to me, water is very, hold on, let me take that off. For me, water is more about refreshing, renewal. So I keep umming. So water is about refreshing, renewal. So that's one of the reasons why I put water, washing, cleansing. That's why I put a lot of water in my pieces. And I also like to use, I'm a gardener, so plants are always something that you'll see in my paintings. And I even have a series called From Floral to Flight. So I even have a series of paintings that are called that. So you'll be able to see those as well. And so let me know what you think. You've seen both of them. You've seen the one that's gilded. You've seen this one. Let me know your thoughts on that. What's your favorite one? What do you see that's different? Because they are, I don't, when I have the patina done, I try to change up the patina a little bit on them as well so that they're not all similar. So let me know what your thoughts are. And, I love hearing your comments. So definitely send me some feedback. Feedback is always good. So definitely like to hear your feedback. So don't ever hold back on your feedback. I'm over here moving a piece so that I could show this new piece to you all. We're going to work, let's see, I like the sunlight. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I like to post you all's comments. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I'm going to put a light on. I'm just over here. I'm going to put a light on this new one because I want you to be able to see it in its entirety. And that's the other thing is I get to move all these things around so that I could show you how everything looks. And we're going to look at another bronze piece right now. And so this particular one is actually a piece that is, we're going to look at it in the round piece. We have one more relief that we're going to look at, but right now we're going to look at it in the round piece. I'm going to show you one of the in a round pieces because it's right here. So we have about 2 more bronze pieces that we're going to look at, and then we're going to move on to some painting. So we're going to look at 2 more bronze pieces, and then we're going to look at some painting. So let's come out of that window and let's see. Oh, there we go. You'll give me your honest thank you. Thank you for your honest opinion. I love honest opinions. All right, so we're going to move on to another bronze piece, which is over here. So let me grab the camera, and I took it off because I didn't want you guys getting dizzy with all of the moving I'm doing with this camera. So I figured I'd turn it off and move, and then I turn it back on instead of having you get dizzy. How about that? All right, so this piece we're going to put up now is called Mother's Love. And Mother's Love is actually one of my very first bronze pieces. So Mother's Love was my very first bronze piece. And I absolutely loved making her and creating her. Mother's Love is 19 by 14 by 10. So her depth is about 14. Her depth is about 10, and she's 14 around. Yes, this is a bronze. This is also a bronze piece. It's like is the style of art or bronze. Bronze is the actual material, Vaughn. Bronze is the actual material that I use for these particular pieces. So it's like, like you use paint or paint on canvas, things like that. So it's the actual material. Sculpting is the art style. So it's a sculpture. That's basically what this is. It's a sculpture, but it's a sculpture in bronze. So this right here, as you can see, I did it more in the style of the patina, and the patina is like most bronze come out very. It's almost like a yellowish kind of silver. Is what bronze after it comes out of the foundry, it looks more like a yellowish silver, and then everything else, once you start putting color on it, it's a patina. A natural patina is a greenish color. It has more of a greenish ionized color. And so this particular patina is an intentional patina, which means that it's something that we created, it's a patina we created. So all the color that you see on these bronze pieces is the patina, it's the patina color. So this particular patina, I wanted to look like stone. And I'm going to show you another one of this particular piece that is not, it doesn't look like stone, but I wanted this to look like it was actually a stone piece. So I'm going to bring it up a little closer because I think it's kind of hard to see the actual patina on this one. So I'm going to put another light on it as well, so you can get a little better view of it, and trying to bring that color out for you so you can see it a little better. Let me bring the light on it a little more. So here we go. And I'm going to start here and try to show you this piece a little better. So like, come up closer. And you can see how they did this piece and the actual colors on it. So there we go. There we go. So you can kind of see how this particular pina. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit so you can see the top of her as well. There we go. There we go. So you can see how this particular piece and how that patina looks, and it does have this particular patina has sort of like a stone feel, and that's basically what I was going for, a more of a stone look, as opposed to just a one-tone color. Yes, it's elongated. Because that comes more from my my fashion illustration background, creating elongated figures. And you'll notice that about my artwork when you see my paintings. Most of my figure forms are elongated, as opposed to using 8 heads. I use 9 heads or 10 heads to create that form. I love the elongated form because for me, it's more elegant and more fluid. And so I like using a more elongated form. And so it reminds me of wax candle. Yeah, I guess it would have a little bit of a wax candle feel to it. It does, with how her garment sort of drips down on her form, doesn't it? It does have a little bit of that sort of wax form to it, with that really nice flow, because wax tends to flow very elegantly to me when it's warm. So and it's like, it's ancient looking because I actually love the Renaissance period, and a lot of my influences is Renaissance and sort of Asian. I love Asian work, and also Renaissance gowns and garments and shawls and robes and all of those kind of things. And so it has a more of a Renaissance era feel to it, because I love those kind of I love the work during that period of time because of how they draped clothing onto the human body. So yes, it does have that kind of feel to it. Let's see. I'm going to show you another one of these particular pieces. And like I said, all of these pieces can be purchased on my website. They can all be found on my website. This particular piece is 19 by 15 by 10. She is $6,500, and she can be yours today. And so I'm gonna show you another one of these pieces. And like I said, this is all a part of the Fort Collins Studio Art Tour. And I know a lot of people can't come out to the Studio Art Tour, but I'm happy that you guys stopped by to kind of hang out with me today in my studio while I show you some of my artwork, and hopefully you'll find something that you like and would like to make a purchase today. So I'm gonna change this particular piece out for a different one. It's going to be one of the this one is a little browner, so we're gonna go ahead and move this one out. So you get to look at that. You get to look at my gray background for right now. Gray background. I'm going to take her out. I'm going to put her over here. Put you over here on the table. All right. So I put her over there on the table, and then we're going to get another one. I'll bring you one of my, this is also a Mother's Love piece. And she's over here in another section of my studio, and where I have to move things so I can get her. Studio. Okay, there we go. Now we got her. We've got her. We're going to bring her over so you can see her. Here we go. So now this one, as you can see, is a totally different color patina. Got some dust on her. I should have gotten some dust. There we go. You don't see the dust. We're going to bring her, now we're going to bring this out a little bit so you can get a full view of her. There. And I'm going to remove this as well. There, so you can get a full view of her. So I know I'm laughing because my son just came on and said hello. What is the last? That one was called, it's called Mother's Love. That is the Mother's Love piece. That was my Mother's Love piece. Let's see. This is also bronze. Again, oh, okay, another one. Okay. So this is also bronze. This is the Mother's Love. This is Mother's Love as well, but I wanted to do her in a different color. I wanted to do her in a different patina because a lot of times, even though I do different ones of this one. Now, this is in a limited edition, but I also want it to be an original. So I don't do any of them the same in the same patina. I change up all the patinas. So they're all original pieces. No two will ever be the same. And that's what I like doing. And so this one right here is actually done in a bronzier color. I went for just a more darker feel in the way I did her skin tone and in the way I did her color. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love the way this one was done. I'm going to bring it up a little closer so you can see how beautiful that color is. So you can see that is a beautiful color, beautiful brown color with a little bit of green in it. I love it. I just love this particular color. So this too is also 15. It's also 19 by 15 by 10. It's the exact same size as the other one. But this one is done in more of a brown patina, and these are $6,500. This is a $6,500 piece. She probably weighs about, I'd say about 30, 40 pounds. Not a lot, but very nice to sit on a table. Absolutely beautiful to put on a table. If you want to add a base to it, you can. I'm not a big fan of bases. I do have a couple of them on a base, and I'm going to show you one that I have on a base. The one that is it's done in it looks exactly like the painting. I'm going to show you that one. The Mother's Love piece, it looks exactly like the painting, is gilded exactly like the painting. So I'm going to show you that one. And that one's a little more expensive because it does have that one has a 24 karat gold on it. So I'm going to show you that one. And I put it on a wooden base, but you can put it on any type of base that you like to put it on. Some people really like using, stone bases. They like using the granite bases or a marble base. I put it on a wood base because I just like the wood color. Yes, you can put it on a square base as well. So I'm going to show you this other one that's also the Mother's Love piece. And this one is done exactly like the painting because the painting is gilded. And I'm going to actually show you the painting. That's one painting that I kept of my own. That's a part of my original collection. So I'm going to take this one down and I'm going to show you the gilded one. Hold on, we're going to move this. Put this one back. So I'm going to show you the gilded piece that is exactly like the actual painting. And this one, you'll see how the back looks as well. So this is the gilded piece. So this particular piece is created exactly like the painting. So this is the Mother's Love painting. And you can see this one is actually on a base. And you can see the back and the dust. I should have dusted these before I put them out. So you can see this one is on a base. And this one looks exactly like the actual painting. And this right here, this is gilded. So all of this is 23 karat gold and a variegated metal. This is all a variegated metal right here. And I love variegated metal because I love the colors. And variegated metal is actually a heat treated metal. What they do is they heat treat it and then they it adds color. It adds color to it. Sculptures are interesting. Yeah, and that's what I like about them is the whole 3D. It's a three-dimensional. So I love the three-dimensionality of it. This one is, yeah. And this one right here, this looks exactly like the painting. I wanted to do a couple that were exactly like the painting. So this one is exactly like the Mother's Love painting. And the fun part about doing these, and the most difficult part about doing these is when you create a two-dimensional piece, how do you transform a two-dimensional piece into a three-dimensional piece? Because all you see in a two-dimensional piece is the front of the piece. And so that was the challenge that I had to face, is how to transform a two-dimensional piece into a three-dimensional piece. And the way I did that is I got somebody and I put robes on them and garments on them, and I draped them in things so that I could figure out how to give that depth perspective. Because in the painting, once I show you the painting, you'll see that it's a flat painting. And so in order for me to be able to get the roundness of it and the back of it, I had to add more to it. And so I had to have a model to create that three-dimensional form. So I'm going to show you guys the actual painting that piece is taken from. So I'm going to come over here so I can grab it and show you the actual painting that one was taken from. Where did it? I think it's, I don't think I put it back in the drawer. This particular piece normally stays, it's in one of my drawers. So here it is. So most of these pieces are acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper. And this particular piece, I'm going to bring the screen over. So there we go. That way you could look at them both together. So here it is. So as you can see, this is the Mother's Love piece. So you can see they're pretty much the same piece. So that's the actual painting of the Mother's Love piece next to the bronze of the Mother's Love piece. So you can see I'm going to turn that just a little bit so we can get, there we go. Let's turn it a little bit. There we go. There we go. And you can see in my paintings, I do use quite a bit of water. I'm trying to bring it back a little bit. Yes, and I do use a lot. There's plants and things like that. I didn't add the plants to that, to the actual bronze, but that is something I kind of wish I had have added because I love putting plants in now. So I'm going to take this back over here. Bring this back over here and stick this back in there. So that is a Mother's Love piece. And those are all the three versions that I have, the Mother's Love piece in. Yes, it does. It's representation of life. And that's one of the reasons why when I created that piece, it was all about it was about the embrace. It was about the nurturing. It was about that. And if you notice, a lot of my pieces are about giving and love and things like that. And so that piece is very representational of life and how we embrace it, even within the garments, the flow, and as you notice how the bottom of her garment wraps around her, it covers her. Everything that's on it is all about embrace, covering, love, those kind of things, just giving and loving. So that's what those particular pieces are about. And so once again, like I said, all of these pieces can be found on my website, and you can make purchases, or if there's something that you see that you like here, let me know, because I'd love to talk to you more about it or share more about it with you. What is this? You could speak to my class, and I just realized that we sorry about that. Somebody else sent me a message on something else. But yeah, so I'm going to show you another piece, and this will be, like I said, we had two more pieces. Where's the link? Oh, my website is, I don't know if there's a link on here because I neglected to put, but here's my website. It's www.louisecutlerstudios.com. So I have one more piece. Actually, we have two more bronzes to show, and I'm going to put those up now. Hold on, let's get that one. We're going to take this one down, and I'm going to bring another one. Oh, look, you can see me moving things. So I have another piece that I'm going to show you guys, and that is over here. We got one more bronze piece that I'm going to show you guys. And I've got one more flat bronze piece I'm going to show you. I think I got quite a bit of dust on here. And this one, this is a smaller one, but it is a very powerful one. So let's bring this over. I want you guys to see it. I'm going to bring this down some more. And I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to turn it this. Yeah, that's how we do it. There we go. I'm trying to get the best view of it for you. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I turned the camera around. Or did I? Give me 1 second. I think I turned the camera around. Let's see. There it is. Okay. And we're going to add this one too. There we go. All right, so we're going to add this too, because I want you to be able to see this particular piece. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to bring that full screen for you to see there. And I'm going to, so this is Father's Love. This is the Father's Love piece. And I'm going to bring it up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's good. So this is the Father's Love piece. And I think it's weird because I have the camera at the bottom. So this right here is Father's Love. I know. I have to get that smoke alarm. Your best in your smoke alarm. I know it's chirping all over. Yes, yeah, it is. Bronze is 4 and copper is 2. I know I have to get my battery in my smoke detector changed. That would help people. All right, so this one is Father's Love. Well, send your brother so he can come and get this, so he can get this one. This is Father's Love. And this particular piece, I absolutely love it. I did a Mother's Love and I actually did a Father's Love. So I have a painting. I have a Father's Love painting. And these particular pieces I find absolutely phenomenal. There was just something about the embrace of the father. And when I did this, and this is a little smaller piece, it's not quite as big in stature as the Mother's Love. And there's a reason for that, because a lot of times we look at Mother's Love as just overwhelming, over nurturing, all of those kind of things. But in a Father's Love, it's very protective. And so as you can see in this piece, how the father is covering the child and how it's more in a protective sort of sense. He's embracing the child, but it's also a protective sort of covering. And so the father has more, when you look at a father's love, it's more of a protective love, as opposed to this overly nurturing embrace that a mother's love has. Yes, it is. It's really nice how you see how he has there's a connection. And a lot of times, when children are younger, they have a huge connection with the mother because of the feeding and the nurturing and things like that. But to be able to see a father connecting in this way is that's basically one of the things that I wanted to show. I have that particular painting as well. Let me grab that one so you can see those two side by side. That particular piece was very powerful because I wanted to create this connection between the child and the father. And in the painting, you'll see the connection even more, and how he's embraced, but how he's also protecting and covering the child. So let's see. So I'll show you the painting. We'll put the painting next to it as well. Let's do the painting. So here is the Father's Love painting. So there it is. So you can see the Father's Love painting next to the Father's Love sculpture. So you can see it's all that, it's very protective, very encompassing, and there's a definitely connection and nurture to the Father's love. So the Father's love piece is, I'm trying to, so I can tell you the size of the Father's Love piece. And once again, this is also on my website. The Father's Love piece is also on the website. The painting, I'm not sure is on the website, but if you're interested in the painting, you could definitely let me know. I think that particular painting is 95, I mean, not 95, $950. So that particular painting is $950. And the Father's Love is, the bronze is $3,000. Yes, they are. It's very, the Father's Love compared to some of the other pieces. The Father's Love painting and sculpture is different. It's different because in the Father's Love painting, I use a lot of color, brilliant colors and things like that. But I didn't want to use, I didn't want to make the sculpture as colorful as the painting. Like some of my paintings are very, very colorful. The colors are very bold and very bright because I like to use true pigment colors. I don't do a lot of mixing. Every now and then I might do some mixing, but I don't like to do a lot of mixing with my colors. I like my colors to be a little bold. And so I do use a lot of color, very colorful, bold colors when I'm creating those particular pieces. So I do use a lot of bolder colors with that. So let's see. Oh, we have one more. Okay, Lisa, yeah, and that's basically why I created it that way, because that's what I was going for. I have one more sculpture that I want to show you guys, and then we'll go around and look at some of my paintings. We'll go around and look at some paintings. It's 2:00, so we have like an hour left. And so I'm going to go around and show you some of my paintings, but we'll look at one more sculpture that I have on the wall, and that is Sanctuary. And Sanctuary is one of my bigger bronze relief pieces, and so that'll be the last bronze relief that I'll show you, and then we'll look at some of the paintings. So we're going to go over and have a look at Sanctuary. So we're going to take this one out. Yeah, I'm going to show some paintings today because I was supposed to be on yesterday with the Fort Collins studio tour, but I didn't quite make it yesterday. So I didn't have time to do yesterday. So we'll do today. We'll try to cover everything today, at least as much as we can. And like I said, you can always go on my website and find some of my other work as well. So we're going to go over, I'm going to take it over, and we're going to go over and look at my other bronze piece. So let's head over to look at this last and final bronze relief. So let's get over here. Let me see if I can get back far enough, because this one, like I said, this is probably one of my taller ones. Let's see, let's turn it this way so we can get this in the picture. We're probably gonna have to turn the camera again for this one. All right, move this over. And boom. Let's go back. I'm still here. I'm just manipulating my camera. Let's go back here so that I can okay. I think we got I want to position it correctly. I think I turned the light off on it by accident. I don't want to do that. Hold on, let's go back over there. We didn't want to do that. I'm trying to change the.
So there we go. And hi, that's me in the picture, but we're going to turn it around so that, that's not what we wanted to do. We're going to turn this around so that we can bring this piece in. And there we go. And you can see it's a pretty tall piece. There we go. I'm going to let this sit back a little bit so we can get all of it. There we go. All right. A little better. It's a little better. And I'm going to move this. I have a tiny little painting right here. So we're going to move this painting out of the way so you can get a full view of that particular piece. And this piece is called the governess. And so the governess, let's have a look at the light. Because that's on that has a tiny light on it. So we're going to bring that up so that you guys can see that a little better. There we go. So this is the governess. And the governess, this is probably a 24 by 36 piece. The governess is one of my bigger pieces. She's one of my, I should say, my tallest piece. So she's about a 24 by 42 piece, bronze piece. And she is 24 by 42 by 2. No, by 1. So she's only about, she's not incredibly thick. I didn't want her to be incredibly thick because there's just no way to carry her. That I would have been able to carry her. So she's about 1 inch thick. So not quite as thick as some of the other ones. Let me see. I want to try to get a little more light on her so you can actually see how incredibly beautiful she really is. Because in that sort of yellowish light, it doesn't give you a full view of how incredible this piece is. So I'm going to change the lighting a little bit. Give you a little more light here. There we go. There we go. Let's see. This lighting's better. There we go. Okay. Just gonna change that. All right, so there we go. That's a little more lighting. I know it's a little hot in spots, but I'm just gonna bring it back just a little bit. It's gonna be a little hot in that one area. Let's see. I'm gonna cross over you. So, she's hot. The girl is hot. So let's see if we can get behind it a little bit. So her little face will be a little hotter. But I think you get a little bit of a better view of her now. Yeah, she's a little hot in one section. I know there's a slight echo when I go near the other So this piece, now you can see the browns a lot better. So you can see there's really pretty green. You can see the browns in her garment a lot better. And some of the other things that are in there a little better. I know it's a little hot in towards her middle because of the lighting. But this particular piece is Sanctuary, and I'm going to go back over to show you some really interesting parts of Sanctuary. And I know there's a little bit of an echo because I wasn't able to turn it down all the way. Let's see. Choo. Let me see. It doesn't give you the option to turn this all the way down. So, all right, and then we're gonna bring this up a little bit because I'm trying to take the heat off of it. So let's do, so you get a better look at it. So this is Sanctuary. There we go. And I'm gonna bring it up a little closer. And then you could see this really neat, and I don't know if you could see it, but there's a little cross there in Sanctuary. It's very tiny because most governesses came out of, a lot of governess came out of a Christian sort of Catholic background. And that's one of the reasons for the cross is in representation of that. And then I just wanted you to see how the flowers, these are all calla lilies, how they looked a little bit up close and personal. So that's one of the calla lilies. And you can see this one is only about an inch thick off of the wall. But you can see how it lays perfectly flat on the wall. This particular piece is on the wall and how it lays flat on the wall. And so this is the governess. And this one you could see, I didn't do a lot of foliage on her. I didn't, on her garment has a little bit of foliage. It has a little bit of things like that. And I did that for a reason because for her, I wanted her a little more well-groomed. I wanted to show a little more plainness in her, not a lot of, let's see, move it around. I didn't want her to be, I didn't want all of the foliage and the fluidity because I wanted to show her as more of a stable individual. She's very stable. She's a governess, so everything is a little more tighter and put together and well-bred. And that's basically, she's a stern form. And I elongated her not out of elegance this time, but out of stature. She was elongated more out of stature as opposed to elegance like some of my other pieces. And that's basically what her form is about, is her stature. No, it doesn't. I didn't want to add the crinkles because she was more about stature. She was more about order and form as opposed to this more elegant thing. So I didn't want to do the crinkles, as you put the crinkles in her dress because it was because of her position. And so because of her position, she would not have those kind of things in her dress. Her dress would be very flat and very orderly and very formed. So that's basically why she does not have all of that in her dress. So this particular one, this is the last one of my bronze release I wanted to show you. And you can find all of these on my website. And you can make purchases. Just let me know which ones you like. And I would be happy to sell them to you. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. And then I will be back in a few minutes. And we're going to start looking at some of my paintings. So give me a second and I will be right back. Yeah, I was wondering what happened to it. Okay. I get how unimportant I am. I get how unimportant I am. I get it. Oh, I see. I don't matter. There you go. I'm giving you practice right now.
Well, we're gonna fight. We're just gonna fight.
Oh, my whatchamacallits are going out.
What's your whatchamacallit?
My earbuds.
Oh, that's not cool.
Oh no, it's probably, I've been on them all day, so they're probably like, during this like an hour. But I think I can pull the other ones out. The other one. I got another one. I'll put that one on. It's probably still charged. All right. That one's on. Let's see. Okay, let's see if that one's on. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello. This one's on. My earbud on. Nope. Change to the mic. Change to the mic. Hello, hello, hello. Let's switch to our mic. Mic. The mic on. Is the mic on? You on the mic? Looks like you're on. Okay, so. My mic on. Alright guys, I have to switch my earbuds because they get a little out. Back in action. Earbuds don't last a certain amount of time. So I'll be returning back in a few seconds.
You want green tea?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, Philip, I'll have green tea.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm on the whatchamacallit.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I am live. I'm live. I'm only live for a few more minutes. I'm going to show some artwork. But I'm probably going to go quickly through the artwork portion of it. We'll go quickly through the artwork portion of it. Just have to move a few things around. Move a few things around. Around and around and around. Around and around and around. There. Yeah. There we go. Oh, is it raining? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the only reason I'm still inside, not outside cutting grass.
Ah.
Okay, I'm back. How are you guys? Let me know if you can hear me because I had to switch my earbuds around because the other one was going out. So let me know if you can hear me or can't hear me. Definitely comment, make some noise out there. So we're going to actually go over, we're going to be looking at some other artwork now. We're going to be looking at paintings. Yay, getting to paintings now. It is raining out here. Oh, thank you. Did you see yourself?
Yes. Look, I saw myself in the mirror.
Oh, that's my son, Philip. He's amazing. He came up and brought me some tea. He came up and brought me some tea. Yes, you may have guessed my studio is in my home. My studio is actually up, the upstairs in my home. And I did that. I love having it in my home because then I don't have to go anywhere. And also I get to hang out with my family. My family gets to be a part of my whole studio experience as opposed to it being away from home. Tea. I love tea. So we're going to actually look at some artwork, and I'm going to walk you around my studio and show you some of my art pieces, and also show you what I'm working on. That's what's behind me right here is what I'm working on next. I have some things that I'm working on, some new pieces that I'm working on that's coming up. But right now I'm going to show you some of the pieces that I have available on my website. So you can definitely go to my website and have a look around and make some purchases. All right, let me show you some of these pieces. We're going to come over here. I'm going to grab the camera from over on this side. We'll grab the camera. And so there's several things that I do. I'm going to start with this particular collection of paintings. And these are basically where I draw my actual bronze pieces from. And these particular collections of paintings, and yes, I'm moving things because I have to move things in my studio. Like I said, I've had, with doing shows, I have to move things around because I haven't had time to move a lot of stuff around lately. Did you guys see my messy table? All right, we're going to flip the camera around again because I want to be able to show you guys. Let's see, where's the camera? I want to put the camera on this side because we don't want to show the, hold on. Oh. I'm over here wrestling with the camera because I'm trying to get rid of the pole that's in the middle of it. We don't want the pole. Okay. I think I got it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some of my pieces that are over here, but I think I'm going to try to bring another light. I have studio lighting, but light make it brighter. I guess it's okay. It's not bad. So we're going to show you. I probably just need to rearrange my lighting a little bit. All right, so I'm going to do you get feedback again? Is it better now? I think it's because anytime I go over and stand near the other camera, you're going to get some feedback. Sorry about that. And that's because there's a feedback because of the fact that that one won't go all the way down. So I'm going to bring this one up. We're going to shrink me and bring up some of these other pieces. So these are some of my other pieces, and I'm going to bring that over like that. And then we're going to get rid of my branding because I'm back. So these are some of the pieces, and these are the pieces that I do my bronzes from. These particular paintings are a part of my Awakening Spirit series. On these pieces that you see right now is one is called Faith and the other one is called The Provider. Anytime you see a bowl or things like that. It's either a giver or a provider. These are all done in acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper. Faith is the mother and child, and they are surrounded by the plants and nature, and that protects them. That's their sanctuary. It creates a safe, protected environment for them, and so it literally wraps around them all of this. And it's one thing I love using nature as a um, as a protective force or as a covering. Because I look at nature, like deers like to put their children in a brush so that you can't see them. A lot of animals and wildlife, they protect themselves in brushes. They put their, when they have children or their babies, and they'll put them in the brush or they'll hide in the brush for protection, bunnies and things like that. And so I like um, using nature as a covering or as a shield in some way to cover the mother and child. And then the provider, you can see he has a large bowl, and it's full of provision. It's full of provision. And he is done in an actual white gold with a bluish, greenish variated metal. And I'm going to bring you up a little closer so that you can see his garment. The mother and child is done in a copper and a reddish variegated metal. So I'm going to bring you up so you can see those just a little closer. I'm going to go over here, and you might feel a little faint, because like I said, this one
It doesn't allow me to turn it all the way down.
So, I wanted to get you a little closer to her garment so you can see how beautifully brilliant her garment is. And you can see the copper that's on her garment. And the copper is over, like right over the top of her shoulders, and then the variegated metal. And then in the child's garment, there is some, that's a, I think it's a Dutch metal, or is that a white? That might be, hold on.
Shows
Shows
how
how
much
much
I
I
look
look
at
at
that
that
one
once
in a
in a
while.
while.
That's
That's
actually
actually
a
23
23
karat gold. It's either 21 or 23 karat gold on that one. I think that was a 21 karat gold, which would um, show, see why it's a little darker in color. So that one's right there. So that's Mother's Love piece. And I chose some very different florals for this particular piece, like these leaves. I love those leaves. And I was going for a different, adding some different color, because I wanted to add a little lighter greenish color as opposed to those dark greens I usually use. I put in some grass. And once again, you can see my ever loving calla lily flowing right out of there, peeking and giving a little bit of a shield to the mother and the child. And so, love using the calla lily in that manner. But that's the Mother's Love piece, and like I said, it has copper and variegated metal, and you can find that piece. It's called Safe. That was the second series part of the Mother's Love series, but this particular piece is called Safe. So that's Safe. I'm going to show you the provider. We're going to get up close to the provider next.
getting up close and personal.
So this is the provider, and I would often get people, they would say, well, what kind of fruit is that he has? What kind of fruit is that? Oh, did I do? Let's see. Oh, hold on. I went into full screen, and I don't want to be in full screen on that one. Okay, I cut his head off. I didn't realize I cut his head off. So let's go get his head back.
One second. We don't want to cut his head off. Here
and
There.
there. No head cutting off. So this is the provider. And these are pieces I really love doing because I love working with them. And once again, it is, those are apples. I had people ask me if those were strawberries, and those would be the biggest strawberries in the world. And I would love them. I would love them. And as you can see with this particular piece, also, there's some elongation to this piece as well. You can see how much larger his body in proportions would be. And I was going for, and you can see it's almost like his body proportions matches the rock proportions as well. And so those are the kind of things that I was looking at doing. You can see the triangular pattern and that composition, nice triangular composition as well. So that's basically what I wanted to do. And with him, and I don't know if you've noticed that a lot of times when in my male pieces, I don't have as much floral in it or foliage. I go for a very more simplistic um, natural background when I do my male pieces. And this particular one, for sure, I went with a more minimized natural background where you have the tree in the background or the shrubbery in the background, and then there's some green leaves coming out because I love being able to simplify the male background. The other thing that you'll notice in these particular pieces is that there's no faces in these pieces, and there's also a reason for that because these pieces are more about the form. They're more about the actual piece. They're more about the actual composition, the image, as opposed to a face. And a lot of times I find that when you add a face, it becomes a portrait no matter what. People are always trying to figure out how this could possibly relate to them, and then they're trying to, they're dissecting it based on relational relationships. How does this relate to me? How do I relate to it? And I didn't want to add that bit of complication to it. I just wanted people to be able to enjoy it, and then to be able to come into the actual piece without having to decipher the relational part of it to themselves. Because a lot of times we're looking for how things will relate to us, and I didn't want people to have to deal with how it related to them. I just wanted them to just enjoy it, just be able to enjoy the actual piece without trying to without having that complicated aspect to it. So that's basically what this piece is about. Once again, you'll be able to find this piece on my website, and this piece is a purchase. This piece is, I think this is a 40, it's 40 by 36. It is a acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper. This one is actually framed in my framing style, which is similar to a Japanese scroll. It has, this is actually framed by me. This is done in the metal leaf is a white gold and a variegated metal. It's an absolutely beautiful piece, and would go really nicely in your home. I'll step back. I'm going to pull it back a little bit so you can actually see the frame on this one.
So as you can see, the framing style. Let's see if I can move it back a little further so you can see the full frame. I'm going to scoot my table back a little bit, and I'm going to move this back just a little further so you can see the full frame on this one and how it hangs on the wall. So as you can see, it hangs on the wall with rings. It has rings on the back on both sides and has a beautiful wood top and a beautiful wood bottom. that, and then it's in between two pieces of plexiglass,
and
and
that
that
is a
is a
museum
museum
quality
quality
plexiglass.
plexiglass.
So
So
it's
it's
a
a very,
very, that
that
way
way
you
you
don't
don't
have to
have to
worry
worry
about
about
your
your
picture
picture
being
being
harmed.
harmed.
It's a
It's a
UV museum
museum
quality
quality
plexiglass.
plexiglass.
So
So
that's a
that's a
really
amazing
amazing
piece
piece right
right
there.
there.
So
So
we're
we're
going to
gonna
move
move
over
over
to
to
another
another
piece
piece
over
over
here.
here.
Just
Just
going to
gonna
lift
lift
this
this
up.
up.
And this
This
particular
particular
piece,
piece
I
I
know
know
it's a
it's a
little
little
harder to
harder to
see,
see,
but
but
this
this
piece
piece
right
right
here
here
is
is
called
called
My
My
Big
Big
Apple.
Apple.
I
I
was
was
actually
actually
going to
gonna
do,
do,
let
let
me
me
see,
see,
let's get it
get it
like
like
that.
that.
I
I
was
was
actually
actually
going
going
to
to
do
do
an
an
entire
entire
series
series
of
of
big
big
giant
giant
fruit,
fruit.
but
I
I
just
just
made
made
it
it
to
to
that
that one,
one,
My
my
Big
Big
Apple.
Apple.
And
And
that
that
one
one
actually
actually
has
has
that's a light
light
gold
gold
and
and
a
a
variegated
variegated
metal
metal
on
on
the
the
same
same
line
line
as
as
the
the provider.
provider. So
So
he's
he's
a
a
huge
huge
provider.
provider.
He's
He's
providing
providing
a
a
giant
giant
apple.
apple.
Can
Can
you
you
imagine
imagine
a
a
giant
giant
apple?
apple?
He's
He's
providing
providing
a
a
very
very
large
large
apple
apple
for
for
his
his
family
family
and
and
everybody
everybody
else.
else.
So
So
he
he
is
is
a
a
part
part
of
of
my
my
provider
provider
series.
series.
Um,
Um,
but
but
it's
it's
called
called
the
the
Big
Big
Apple.
Apple.
So
So
that
that
is
is
fun.
fun.
I
I
had
had
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
fun
fun
doing
doing
that
that
piece,
piece,
and
and
I'm
I'm
hoping
hoping
that I
that I
will
will
get
get
back
back
to
to
doing
doing
some
some
of
of
uh, some
some
other
other
Big
Big
Apple
Apple
pieces,
pieces
because
because
I
I
think
think
doing
doing
some
some
other
other
Big
Big
Apple
Apple
pieces
pieces
would
would
be
be
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
fun.
fun. One
One
of
of the
the
things
things
I
I
might
might
want
want
to
to
do
do
is
is
a
a
big
big
banana
banana
or
or
a
a
big
big
strawberry. I
strawberry.
could
I
do a
could do
big
a big
strawberry as
strawberry as
well.
well.
So
So
that
that
one,
one,
and
and
I
I
think
think
I
I
did
did
that
that
one
one
because
because
I
I
did
did
shows.
shows.
I
I
was
was
doing
doing
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
shows
shows
in
in
New
New
York,
York,
and
and
so
so
the
the
Big
Big
Apple
Apple
was
was
one
one
of
of
the
the
pieces
pieces
I
I
did,
did,
and
and
I
I
thought
thought
this
this
would
would
be
be
a
a
fun
fun
New
New
York
York
piece
piece
called
called
the
the
Big
Big
Apple.
Apple.
So
So
if
if
there's
there's
ever
ever
a
a
show
show
that's
that's
in
in
New
New
York,
York,
I
I
will
will
definitely
definitely
be
be
bringing
bringing
the
the
Big
Big
Apple
Apple
piece.
piece.
So,
So
okay, we're going to move on to
another
another piece.
piece.
So
So
we'll
we'll move
move
on
on
to
to
another
another piece.
piece. We're
We're going
gonna
to
actually
actually
come
come
over
over
here
here
to
to
some
some
different
different
pieces.
pieces.
One
One second.
second.
We're
We're
going to
gonna
move
move
over
over
this
this
way.
way.
And I
And I
should have
should have
showed
showed
you,
you,
but
but
it's
it's
on
on
the.
the.
So
So
we're
we're
going to
gonna
move
move
over
over
here.
here.
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
show
show
you
you
this
this
piece.
piece.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
I'm
carrying
carrying
you
you
around.
around.
I
I
know.
know.
Okay,
Okay,
this
this
particular
particular
piece.
piece.
Let's
Let's
put
put
some
some
light
light
on
on
it.
it. Let's put some light on it.
And
And
the
the
funny
funny
part
part
is
is
I
I
just
just
turned
turned
this
this
light
light
off.
off.
There.
There.
Is
Is
that
that
better?
better?
I don't know if it's better or not. Let's
Let's
turn
turn
it
it
around.
around.
Get
Get
a
a nice
nice pole in
pull.
front of you.
And
And
we'll
bring it
bring it
over.
over.
You
You
can
can
probably
probably
hear
hear
my
my
children
children
downstairs
downstairs
chatting. Chatting
chatting
away.
away.
That's
That's
what
what
they
they
do.
do.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
let's
let's
go
go
up
up
a
a
little
little
closer
closer
to
to this
this because I
because I
wanted to
wanted to
show
show
you
you
guys
guys
some of
some
the
of the
paintings.
paintings.
This
This
one
one
right
right
here
here
is
is
also,
also,
you'll be
you'll be
able to
able to
find
find
this
this
one
one
online.
online.
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
move
move
this
this
light
light
over
over
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
because
because
it's
it's
all
all
in
in
the
the
photograph.
photograph.
See if
See
we
if we
can
can
get
get
that
that
out
out
of the
of the
painting.
painting.
How's
How's
that?
that?
It's a
It's a
little
little
better,
better,
but
but
you
you
have
have
some
some
reflections,
reflections.
and I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
But
But
that's
that's
also
also
from
from
my
my
ceiling
ceiling
lights
lights
as
as
well.
well.
So we
So we
got
got
some
some
reflection.
reflections.
But
But
this
this
particular
particular
piece
piece
is
is
called,
called,
see if
if
we
we
can
can
go
go
over.
over,
I'm
I'm
trying to
trying to
get
get
rid
rid
of
of
some of
some
the
of the
reflection
reflections
so you
so you
could
could
see it
see
a
it a
little
little
better.
better.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
So,
So,
oh,
oh
hey,
hey
Lou.
Lou.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
tuning
tuning
in.
in.
Oh,
Oh,
I
I
sound
sound
robotic,
robotic,
do
do
I?
I?
okay. I don't want to sound robotic. Hold on a second.
Hey, guys. Philip, Timothy? Yeah. I can hear you guys up here. Okay.
Okay, so am I still sounding robotic? Because if I am, I'm gonna switch my mic. I'm gonna switch my mic a little bit. I don't want to sound like a robot. I would like to sound like me. So let me switch my mics over and see how that sounds. I'll see if this sounds a little better, this mic. So you guys let me know what I sound like, because I don't want to sound robotic. Do, 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 do. Let's see, let's change the audio to, all right, I'm changing the audio. Let me know how this audio sounds. If you're out there, let me know. If you're out there, let me know. For those of you that are watching me on the Louise Cutler Studios or Louise Cutler or the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show, I know there's a couple of you out there watching from one or two of those. So let me know what I sound like, because I don't, so that you guys can get the best sound quality possible without me sounding too weird. So, all right, so this particular piece is called, thanks a lot. Thanks for letting me know the echoes are going. So this particular piece is called Refreshing the Earth, Refreshing the Earth. And what I love about refreshing the earth, I'm just going to bring that over, has fixed it. It fixed itself. Great. All right. Well, I did change mics. I switched my mic over to my lapel mic. So that might have helped as well too. So this piece is called Refreshing the Earth. I'm going to bring this up again because I want to bring that piece to the front as opposed to having me to the front. This piece, I love this piece. I used to actually have this piece hanging in like a hall that poured down. Just every time I went through, I was like, I love this. I love the refreshing the earth. And so it was a fun piece to have, like to be able to walk under, because she's pouring water upon the earth. But the amazing thing about this piece was this was the first piece. I used to hate drawing flowers. Flowers was not my thing ever. Never, ever, ever was flowers my thing. And so I loved doing this piece because it got me into flowers. After I finished this piece, I just did flowers all the time. And the other thing I liked about this piece is because I loved allowing the flowers to do their own thing, to have their own voice, the negative space and the positive space, not covering anything. I just kind of let everything form however it wanted to form. There was no, I'm going to change this, or I want to fill in this. I didn't fill in anything. Only thing I filled in was where the flowers were going to be and how the flowers were going to do. And then after I stepped back to look at it, to see how amazingly beautiful the floral arrangement turned out, I was just blown away, because in the process of me filling in the positive space, the negative space created its own thing. It created its own dynamics. It created its own sort of painting and creation all by itself without me doing anything. It just did its own thing. And in the process of it doing its own thing, it created a whole nother world, which in my painting, and I just loved it. It was pretty awesome. So I'm going to bring you up a little closer so you can see how awesome that, here we go. I'm going to bring you up a little closer just to see how awesome that is. Look at that. It's just, and all of that is just the paper. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything behind the florals. I just created them. And then they created, it created a whole nother thing all by itself. I know. That's the whole thing. After I created this piece, I enjoyed creating flowers. They were not my thing, but this kind of birthed me into flower creating.
And so you can see it's just, it was just so much fun to be able to do them. And I was just going after all types of flowers because I'm a big orchid lover. So I went and got orchids. I have several orchids in there. I love alliums, the blue, the big purple alliums. I love those. So I threw alliums in there. And of course, you all know I'm a big calla lily fan. So calla lilies are going to be everywhere. Unless it's a painting about a specific flower, there's always going to be a calla lily somewhere lurking about saying, here I am, I'm still here, I have not left yet. The other part of this piece I love is the form that I put in. The figure. I love creating figures. I love working with figures. So you're going to go up. I'm trying not to talk over there because that's where the echo is coming from. It's coming from the other device that I'm using. So this is the figure, and I loved creating this figure. And this is one because I don't have models. And so what I'll do is I'll go through like Renaissance books, or I'll go and buy, I'll get old photos from the 20s and all kinds of places, because for some reason there was just an elegance and simplicity back then that we just do not have right now. Like the way women sat and the way they posed was totally different from what is going on in the world today and what people are doing today. So that's another reason why I love going back in time. That's why, and so it might feel like my pieces are back in time, because I love going back in time. I love going back and bringing forth all of this kind of like Renaissance-y or ancient feel to my pieces. And so this particular garment, I think I did find it in either a Renaissance style book, and then I created what I wanted it to look like. And this one actually has 24 karat gold on in the actual garment, and then a variegated metal that drips down. And so it's almost as if she's in the heavenlies refreshing earth. It's sort of like the Greek gods, and that's basically, I think that's kind of the feel I was going for when I created this piece, is sort of this sort of Greek god sort of feel to it, where she's pouring down and she's refreshing and filling the flowers and the earth with the water, refreshing the earth with the water. So that's basically what this piece is about, is being under that refreshing. So that's what this piece is about, my refreshing the earth piece. Now I'm going to take you over to what I'm doing, some of my latest collections, which is, it's called Floral Flight. And I'll just walk you through some of those because it's $249. And I said I'd do this until 3 o'clock. The Fort Collins Studio Art Tour, it goes until I think 5. But this, I was just I prepared to stream from 12 to 3, which is what I'm doing. But you guys are always welcome to go by my website and check out some of my stuff. You can call and make an appointment if you'd like to come by the studio. I'll be here until 5 o'clock. But I probably, if you wanted to come by, I'd probably make an appointment for you on a different day, not today. But I would love for you, if you're interested in coming by the studio, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm going to take you over and we're going to look at some of my other work, the latest pieces that I've been doing. And then I'll show you what I'm working on now. But let's go over here. All right. So I didn't want to talk over there because, like I said, I can get an echo, 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 echo. All right. So this is from flower to flight. This is my flower to flight series, and so this is what you'd see it through, and mostly in my studio right now is the flower to flight series of paintings, and these are all acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper. And no, these are not 23 karat gold because I do not have that much 23 karat gold. So these are all done in a gold Dutch metal, which is not a real gold metal. It's a Dutch metal, so it's more of a you'd say like a faux metal or an imitation gold metal. So it's a zinc and zinc, copper, all those kind of things, nickel mix. So it has a mix in it. It's not a 23 karat gold or anything. It's a Dutch metal. It's called a Dutch metal. So these are very large pieces. These are, some of them are 20 by 60 pieces, like the bird. I'm a huge fan of the egret. We have some really great egrets in our backyard that flies through. And so I'm a huge fan of egrets, love them. All of the plants and flowers that you see are from my backyard. The calla lilies are often bought for me and I take pictures of them, but all of the other plants, the irises, the poppies, all of those, the hibiscus and the peonies, those are all plants from my backyard because I love planting out of my own garden. I love painting from out of my own garden. And so there's several different plants. I have these come in several different sizes. You can get them in the 20 by 60 size. They come in a 10 by 40 size. They come in just a variety of sizes. And the vast majority of these, not all of them, are on my website. I do have to put more of the florals on my website. I haven't quite got them on all on my website yet. Like I said, this is more of my latest series, but I'll be working on some other things as well. The egret is done in a variegated metal as well as copper and a variegated silver. So there's a lot of things going on in that particular piece. And then you have some peonies and some irises and some poppies. Let's see what else is over here. And I'm going to bring you over here. Hold on. Come to this side. So on that side, you see there's a white, that's my white egret. So we have a white egret as well. And so that, I almost dropped one of my lights. Good catch. So that's a white egret along with some poppies and gladiolas. We got some really nice gladiolas in there. And the egrets usually have, thanks. The egrets are over here with a magnolia. I love magnolias. I have a really nice magnolia bush out front. And so I take photographs of that all the time because I love painting that magnolia bush. So we have some poppies and egrets. And like I said, the egret is on a 20 by 60, and the poppies and the smaller ones, they're on a 10 by 40 panel. Those are all panels. They're wooden panels. And all of the, they're all mounted. They're all done on watercolor and they're mounted to wood panels. So they're all mounted to a wood panel. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to take this one down really quick so you can see it's mounted to wood. It's mounted to a wood panel and it's done on watercolor. So the watercolor is actually mounted. Let's see. I just want to get that straight. So the watercolor paper is mounted to the wood panel. So it's watercolor. It's done on watercolor paper, acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper mounted to a wood panel. So that's what that particular piece is. And these pieces can be found on my website, and they are all for purchase. You have the egret, which is a 20 by 60, and then you have the other ones that are 10 by 40, and then some of the other ones that are different sizes that I'll have to show you those sizes in a little bit. I'll share those with you, but you should be able to find those. You'll be able to find all of these on my website at louisecolorstudios.com. I'll post that so you guys will be able to go to my website, louisecolorstudios.com, and have a look around and see what you like. See what you like. Grab something, buy something. There's some really cool stuff on my site. I'm going to show you this other one. I have this really cool, I call it a sculpture. You might call it a room divider, but we're going to walk over and see it because it's pretty neat. I had some other pieces over here I wanted to show you. Actually, I'll walk you over here first and show you these. So let's go over here. I'm going to show you these right quick. Walk over that. So let's bring it back. Okay. All right, so wanted to bring you over to see those. That's another section where I have some other 10 by 40 pieces. So if you're looking at, and these make nice combinations, putting them right next to each other, they make beautiful combinations of pieces. Being able to put several of these in the same area is amazing. When am I? What is this? Those flowers are like nice. Well, you can definitely get some of these for your bathroom. And like I said, they're all acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper, and then they're mounted to a wood panel. I wouldn't take a shower with them in the room, but you definitely can bath. You can bathe in them. These pieces, these right here are 10 by 40 long, and they look really great next to each other. They look really great next to each other. If you did a collection, these are all, these particular pieces are so heavy. What was it? So you have to keep in mind space. Yes, you have to keep in mind space. But these are really nice because we all have these little areas in our home that we never can find anywhere for them to go. So these are perfect for columns in our homes or spaces right next to a wall that we're like, oh, I would love to put something on this wall, but I just don't know where I'd put something on that wall. These particular pieces are the long narrow pieces are 1,200, but today I'm actually letting them. Today I'm selling them for $9. Those are normally 1,200, but today I'm selling those for $900. These particular pieces, the 10 by 40s, are selling for $900 today. So if anybody's interested in them, this would be a great day to get them because they're usually $1,200 for those smaller pieces. And once again, they're acrylic and metal leaf on watercolor paper, and then they're mounted to a really nice birch wood panel. So if anybody's interested in that, once again, these are on my website, but this is the best time to get them is here with me because this is where you can get the deal. Oh, thanks, Lou. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Luz is a friend of mine, and always love hearing from friends and people I know. So thank you so much. But this is, like I said, during the studio art tour, this is probably the best time to make purchases via my website or with me, because normally I do offer a few deals during my studio art tour. So, oh, I got one more to show you. I know it's 3 o'clock, but I'm going to show you this last piece. Let me bring it over. I know it's 3 o'clock, but I'm going to show this last one. And this one right here is really fun. Oop, tapping things. Can you see me? There we go. All right. Here we go. There. Now, for some, they'll be like, oh, that looks just like a room divider. And you could say it's a room divider. I look at it as a floor sculpture. But this one right here, it does fold. And if you want to hide things behind it, you could. But it is, I look at it as my floor sculpture. Okay, what was it? You said, oh, I like the fact that your paintings oh, no, they're not really thick. I don't like really big, thick pieces. So, but this right here, you can use it as a floor sculpture, or as some people say, room divider. This is actually on, it is the same. This is watercolor on panel, and then it does close. So you can close it. And then it's also gilded on the back as well. So the back is also gilded. So this particular piece is pretty amazing. So let's go ahead and close it. You have a beautiful, look at that, beautiful. It's on both sides. Open that back up. And that's about as wide as it opens as well, right there. So if you want to put something behind it, you could. But I would just enjoy it as a floor sculpture, and that's basically what it is. And so that will conclude some of the things that I'm showing you today. It is 3:03, and I just want to thank you guys for joining in with me and being a part of what I'm being a part of my studio art tour today. Being a part of my Fort Collins studio art tour and participating. Definitely go and check out my website and see all the really cool things that are there. And if I had a studio like that, my mom, really, she probably would. Go and check out my website. And if you have any questions, you can definitely send me questions. Sign up on my email list. When you go to my website, go ahead and sign up on my email list. If you are in town, I will be having coming up at Louise Cutler Studios is my pumpkin painting party, which is one of my fun parties. And it is a lot of fun, and we do a lot of stuff. That will be on October 10th from 2 to 5. It is my annual pumpkin painting party. You can go on my website and click on what's next at Louise Cutler Studios, and you'll find the pumpkin painting party, as long with the in December I do wreath making, and you'll also find my on-demand class. I have some painting classes. If you're interested in doing some painting, there's some painting classes there as well. I also have well, just go to my website. There's some really cool stuff on there. You'll love it. There's quite a few things that I think you would get a lot out of. So definitely go check out my website, sign up on my mailing list and all of those kind of things. And then you'll be able to connect with me and get all of my updates. So once again, I want to thank you for coming by, hanging out with me. My Instagram is Louise Cutler Studio. Everything that I have is Louise Cutler Studio. So you should be able to hit me up on Instagram at Louise Cutler Studios. Don't do Louise Cutler Fine Art Studios, do Louise Cutler Studio. And yeah, that's it. Here it is. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Instagram and Facebook at Louise Cutler Studios. I think my Twitter is Louise Cutler Music. I don't think it's Louise Cutler Studios. If you want to check out some of my music, you can go to Louise Cutler Music and like me on that as well. I do have a Pinterest account. If you want to follow me on Pinterest, if you want to follow me on YouTube, it's also Louise Cutler Studios. So you can hit me up at Louise Cutler Studios on YouTube as well, because this is actually playing on YouTube as well. So you can go to any of those things and check me out. And so, all right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll probably be doing this periodically throughout the year. I am going to be I'm looking at doing a Christmas Bazaar, so definitely check out that. The Christmas Bazaar, and that'll be with the Beauty of Blackness Fine Art Show. So definitely check out. I'll be streaming live from that too. All right. So thank you so much, Vaughn. You have been amazing. Thank you for stopping in. Lou, thank you for stopping in even a little later. I've totally enjoyed you guys. So thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.